This is for Math 1 students. You have 3 assignments in your Google Classroom. This is the first one I saw posted, was checkpoint 1, problem 172. And here's an example. We have 4x plus 4x minus 3 equals 6x plus 9. We can combine these right here, and we get 8x. Bring down the negative 3 equals, bring down the negative 6, or 6x, I should say, plus 9. Now I want to have my x's on one side and my numbers on another side. So I'm going to move this 3 over here. The way I'm going to move it is by doing the opposite. So the opposite of a negative is a positive, plus 3, plus 3. Move your 8x straight down. This goes away. Bring your equal sign down. Bring your 6x down. And then add 9 plus 3 is 12. Now I want to move this x over here. So all of my x's are on one side, and I have numbers on this side. So I do the opposite, minus 6x, minus 6x. 8 minus 6 is 2x equals, bring that 12 there. So now I have 2 times x equals 12. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I have to divide both sides by 2. When I do that, these 2's cancel out, and I get x equals 12 over 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times, so x equals 6. If I want to check this problem, I'm going to plug in my 6, x equals 6, into each x. Don't leave the x's, get rid of the x's. So this is what it's going to look like. 4 times x plus 4 times x minus 3 equals 6 times 6 plus 9. Use your calculator, you're going to see that they do equal each other, okay, and that the answer is correct. The next problem, we have 2x minus 3 equals 1x plus 3. So if we look at this, we can see that we can't combine anything. We don't need to. So let's move that 3 over to the other side to get this x here by itself. So plus 3 plus 3. So I bring down my 2x, I cross this out, bring down my equal sign, bring down my negative 1x, and add these up. So I'm looking at this line here. So now I have 2x equals negative 1x plus 6. Now I want to get my x's over here. So I do the opposite, plus 1x plus 1x. I get 3x equals, this 6 comes here. It's 3 times x equals 6. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide both sides by 3. And I'm going to get x equals 6 over 3. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Number 2, we have 3x plus 2 plus 1x equals 1x plus 5. I can combine these two, so I'm going to put them by each other. I just have to be careful when I do that. I look at the signs, okay? So this has a plus in front of it. So I'm going to write 3x plus 1x plus 2 equals, and I just brought this straight down. So 3x plus 1x equals 4x. And then bring your 2 down in the rest of the problem. And then, okay, so I have a 2 here. I want to move it over there. So I'm going to do the opposite, subtract, minus 2, minus 2. Now I have 4x equals 1x plus 3, because I subtracted here, okay? Now I want to get this x over here. So I do the opposite, minus 1x, minus 1x. I'm going to get 3x equals this 3 here, because this is gone. And then 3 times x tells me I must divide each side by 3. I cross that out, and x equals 3 over 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, okay? I'm going to show you the problem for a second, have you look at it. It's the same type of problem we just had. One of the things I want to show you is converting a fraction like this. So the answer on this one is 11 over 5. But how do I change that to 2 1/5? So it's a division problem. 5 goes into 11 without going over 2 times. So 5 times 2 is 10. I have 1 left over. And then my denominator stays the same. And we'll review that again. So basically, again, we're just combining here and moving things around, okay? Let's look at number 4. Same type of problem. We have 4x minus 2 minus 2x equals 1x minus 5. I'm going to put these guys together. 4x minus 2x, bring this negative 2 over here, equals 1x minus 5. 4x minus 2x equals 2x. Bring the 2 down, minus 2 equals, bring this down, 1x minus 5. Now I want to get rid of this, get x by itself, so I'm going to plus 2, plus 2. This comes straight down. This goes away. Then I have 1x, and it goes down to 1x, and then I had to subtract here, and I got a negative 3. Now I still have an x on this side and a number, so I'm going to have to move this x over here. Doing the opposite, minus 1x, I get 1x equals negative 3. On this one, you don't necessarily have to do the division because it's just 1, so x equals negative 3. For number 5, we have negative 1x minus 3 equals 2x minus 6. So on this problem, there's no combining. I'm going to move this, doing the opposite over here. Plus 3, plus 3. So this comes straight down. This goes away. Bring your equal sign down, 2x, and then negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Now, I want to get this x over here. You're going to do the opposite, negative 2x, negative 2x. Now I have negative 3x equals this negative 3 here. Now negative 3x times x, so I know I have to divide. So I'm going to put a negative 3 there and a negative 3 there. Cross that out. X equals negative 3 over negative 3. If you have 2 negatives, your answer will be positive. Okay, so negative 3 goes into negative 3 one time. Okay, let's look at another one. Negative 1x plus 2 equals 1x minus 5 minus 3x. You can see in this problem, we don't combine the first part of the problem because we don't have anything to combine. But in the second part over here, you can combine 1x minus 3x. You could write those next to each other and move that over there. So this, I just brought down again, and then I'm going to focus on this side of the problem. So 1x minus 3x equals negative 2x. And then bring your 5 down. So now I'm moving things back and forth. Always moving x's to one side, numbers to the other side. Always doing the opposite. So in this case, negative 2, negative 2. This goes away. Everything else comes down. And this is the part of the problem that is either added or subtracted. So I have negative 1x equals negative 2x minus 7. I want to move this x over here. So I have to do the opposite, plus 2x plus 2x. And then the 7 is going to come, negative 7 comes here. This ends up with an x. And again, there's a 1 there. So my answer is x equals negative 7. Okay. This is number 7. It's another one where in this one you're combining, you have combinations on both sides. And you can see that I brought the 1 down here, but then I combined here. And then on this side, I rewrote it first and then put the 4 there. And then I brought everything down again. And then I combined this, 1x plus 2x is 3x, and I brought that 4 down there. And then I said to myself, I think I'll move this over here. So I went -1, opposite, -1. This went away. I moved this straight down. 2x equals 3x. And then I had to combine this, and I got a -5. And now I still have this x over here, so it needs to be moved over. I'm going to do the opposite, -3x, -3x. 2 minus 3 gives me -1x equals this -5 over here. Now I do need to divide when it's a negative because I want to remember what is going to end up. Is going to be negative or positive. And like we said earlier, if it's a negative and a negative, it's going to be positive, okay? So x equals 5. Okay, and this one was a no solution problem for number 8 because we had 7x here and 7x here. And when we subtract this, we end up with no x's, so it's no solution for number 8. For number 9, we just needed to combine these two. So we had 4y minus 2y minus 8 equals 4. 4y minus 2y is 2y. Bring this down equals, bring this down. I'm going to move this over, and by doing the opposite, this goes away. This comes down. This is added together. And then we divide by the 2 that's attached to the y. 2 goes into 12, and y equals 6. This one wasn't that difficult of a problem. It was pretty simple. The only thing you need to remember is -1, and this is a +3. So the signs are different. So my answer becomes a negative. Most of these problems are the same. It's just practicing. I want to show you this one though. On this one, both sides, the y's were zeros and the numbers were zeros. So when that happens, on number 11, you write all real numbers. Okay, so that means your y's ended up 0 and your number ended up 0. So all real numbers on 11. On 12, we have 4y plus 7 equals 2y plus 7. As you can see right off the bat, this is 7 and this is 7. So you know our problem is going to be 0. On number 13, we have -1x minus 3 equals 2x minus 6. It's not that difficult compared to some of the other ones. Plus 3, bring this down. This goes away. This equals 2x minus 3 because we subtracted there. And then I want to move that x over. And when I do, I get -3x equals this -3. Divide. Same signs. You're going to get a +1. Okay, this one will go over because you do have to convert. You can see we're going to have a improper fraction and change it to a mixed. So we have 10 equals 1x plus 5 plus 1x. So 10 equals 1x plus 1x plus 5. 10 equals 2x plus 5. We're going to get the x by itself, so we're going to -5, -5. 10 minus 5 is 5. 2x comes down. You're going to divide by the 2, even though the x is usually on this side. It's whatever's attached to the x. So divide by 2, divide by 2. This is your answer. But if I want to write it this way, I'm going to say 2 goes into 5 2 times with 1 left over, and my bottom denominator stays the same. So that's how I get 2.5. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so this one, there was just a lot of combining. Nothing too tricky. Remember here, signs are different. Okay, so you want to make sure your answer is negative. You're combining this. These are numbers here without x's. These have x's. And remember, you're getting x's on one side, numbers on another side. Okay? So I'll just let you look at that for a second. Okay? Okay, let's look at number 16. 2x minus 7 equals 1x minus 1. Pretty much the same type of problem. You're just moving this 7 over here by doing the opposite. So you get your 2x equals, bring down your negative 1x plus 6. Then you have to move the 1x over here, giving you 3x equals the 6. And then, of course, dividing. 3 goes into 6 2 times. Okay. All right, so great. So that's the first lesson. Make sure you're joining the classroom. If you don't know the code, please text me and I will give you that information. If you have any other questions, you're confused, please let me know. I think everybody can get a hold of me. It might be easy for you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because not only will I be putting math on there, but I'll be putting other classes that you have. And so you can just click on the videos. Okay? Hope to see you soon. Hang in there and do your work, please. All right. Bye.